Hello and welcome to this short student wellbeing video on how to cope in the moment. We will be exploring strategies to manage stress and anxiety in the short term by using a me box or self-care box. Why create a me box or self-care box? So a self-care box can be called lots of different things depending on how you feel about it. It can be called a me box, an emergency box, a wellbeing box or an emotional box. The purpose of this type of box is to have one particular place to store all the items that help you manage intense emotions, cheer you up or distract you from ruminating thoughts. It is completely unique to each person, which means what you put in your self-care or me box may not be the same as what other people would do. When you are feeling anxious, worried, frustrated or low in mood, a self-care or me box can be something you can get out and use to help you manage your emotions in a safe and constructive way. It can also serve as a distraction to help bring down the intensity of the emotions and thoughts so that you can feel more in control of how you respond to them. How to create a me box or self-care box? As mentioned before, a self-care or me box is completely unique to you and therefore should include items you would find helpful. This is why the name of it can vary so much, as it needs to be something you can relate to and identify as a go-to coping strategy. Some people like to create more of a pamper type box with things to look after themselves in, and other people prefer it to be more of an emergency box, so including items to help with grounding or a list of important helplines or resources to access. The first thing you will need is something to store the items in. This could be a pretty or decorated box, a basket, a handcrafted or decorated box, or even just a tote bag or something discreet. The next step is to start putting in items you are going to find useful or helpful. Here are some examples of what other students have put in their self-care or me boxes. A warm soft blanket or fluffy pair of socks. Headphones to listen to some music, relaxation exercises or a podcast, such as the Student Wellbeing podcast. A book or DVD. Some photographs that allow you to relive happy memories and feelings. A grounding object or something you can focus on to help you bring your thoughts back to the present moment. For more information, please watch our video on coping in the moment by using grounding. An interest or hobby to use as a distraction, such as a yarn and crochet hook, a sketch pad and pencils or a puzzle. A list of useful numbers, helplines and resources. This can include reminders to ring a particular friend or loved one when you need to talk. Something nice to eat or drink, such as a sachet of comforting hot chocolate. Confidence cards. We are terrible at recording the good and reliving the bad. Every time you get some good feedback or do well at something, write it down on a piece of card or paper and pop it in your self-care box, so eventually you'll have a lining of confidence-building statements within the box. A journal or diary. Somewhere you can write down thoughts or worries to help you get what is in your head down into something you can physically see. This can help you process it better. Some thought challenge cards. You can make these easily by writing some questions down on cards to then read and ask yourself when trying to manage uncomfortable thoughts or emotions, such as, is there any evidence to suggest what I'm thinking is true? Are there any other possible explanations or outcomes? Am I assuming the worst will happen? Am I personalising or blaming myself for something outside my control? What would I tell a friend in a similar position? Some bubble bath, face mask or a hot water bottle, something nice and comforting. The last thing is to store it somewhere you'll remember where it is so you can access it when you need to. This does not mean you have to proudly display it in the middle of your desk, but even tucked away somewhere discreet, it needs to be accessible to you easily. When can you use your self-care or me box? Your self-care box can be used in any situation in which you feel an increase in anxiety, stress, fear, panic, frustration, low mood, or you're just feeling overwhelmed. Some examples of situations in which getting out and using items in your me box would be useful include preparing for examinations, assignments or presentations, managing worries around attending certain significant events or social interactions, when you are feeling stressed due to balancing multiple pressures and demands, distraction from external concerns such as financial, social, academic or housing worries, relief from internal concerns such as low self-esteem, low confidence and low resilience. To help ground you when your mind is focusing on unpleasant events from your past or concerns you cannot control in your future. When you are feeling low in mood or having a particularly bad day, and when you just need some overdue TLC. Remember, an anxiety or stress response will reach a peak and come back down. Sometimes it can feel very uncomfortable, but you will get through it and things will start to ease and calm again. By using a technique such as a self-care or me box, you can train yourself to notice the signs of your stress or anxiety levels building nice and early. The earlier you notice and address it, the easier it will be in the future to regain control. And the most important point to remember is practice, practice, practice. It will take some time to allow yourself to get on board with the idea of a self-care box. It may feel like an unusual way of managing emotions initially until you find the right selection of items to put in it. The more you use it and add to it, the more effective it will become.
The Student Wellbeing Centre hold a drop-in service which takes place Monday to Friday between 12 and 2 and Thursday evenings during term time between 5 and 7. If you would like to get in touch with us, please give us a call on 01522 886 400 or email studentwellbeing@lincoln.ac.uk. There is also a lot more useful information and advice on our website, and you can follow us on our social media. Useful resources. Mental Health Matters is a 24/7 phone line that can provide emotional support, advice and guidance if you are feeling low, anxious or stressed and think you might benefit from speaking to someone. By calling 0800 001 4331, you can speak to a member of a highly trained and experienced team of support workers who will be able to provide appropriate support. Together All is a 24/7 online mental health community which includes peer-to-peer support, guided self-help and online courses. Sign up for free using your student email address. Shout 85258 is a free, confidential, 24/7 anonymous text messaging support service for anyone who is struggling to cope. You can text from wherever you are in the UK. We have a new Wellbeing World podcast in which a different topic is discussed by members of the Student Wellbeing team. It includes tips, advice and updates, as well as regular input from our student voices. If you're into gardening, want to learn new skills, or just want to get outside in the fresh air and meet new people, then the Student Wellbeing allotment might be the thing for you. It runs every Tuesday morning and afternoon, and please get in touch to find out more. Thank you so much for watching, and why not have a look at one of our other short videos.